I have a big decision to make today. Am I Crockett or Tubbs? Do I ride around the cigarette boat or the Ferrari? I've already picked out my pastel suit. Crockett or Tubbs? Maybe I'll just be Corey Johnson on the Nutrigram. Happy holidays, New Orleans. Hey, Tulane Green Wave fans. It is a holiday extravaganza, a holiday blockbuster. New Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall is going to join us in about 14 minutes. Coming up in the 5 o'clock power hour, Tulane new athletic director or new Tulane athletic director David Harris will join us around 5:20. So it is really a big Tulane 2-hour program during the holiday season. Tulane Green Wave getting their guy. You know, I know like the sort of average fan or the fan that just checks in every now and then when you think of name brand college coaches, I think most folks are going to rattle off a list of about 5 or 10 coaches, and that's about it. And they're usually coaches that have been around for a while, maybe decades, and are even at the same program for a while. So to sit here and say, boy, Tulane hit a grand slam home run, they got their guy, best guy available, all these things, to maybe the casual fan, it may not hit home, but I just, from doing a little bit of research and looking into it, not as a sports guy, just as a guy who likes sports, a fan of Tulane and doing this program and being able to have some knowledge. This John Sumrall guy, who was like Troy, Toledo, North Dakota State. It seemed like the if you're going to attack it like you did with Willie Fritz, let's get a mid-major head coach that's a winner already and knows how to be a head coach. Don't have to hope he can do it. Has the system in place, everything, all encompassing. It's a CEO position. It's a big responsibility in 2023. So Tulane kind of went with that blueprint again, tapped the mid-major route again, and this John Sumrall guy just seems like a winner. I even said as much going back almost 25 years ago. I'll never forget being by those trailers by the Wilson Center, going in for the Rich Rodriguez head coach. I mean, the night before Rich Rodriguez is the head coach, Rich Rodriguez is at Tulane in a suit and tie with his introductory remarks, ready to go as the new Tulane head coach. And then some alum with just the irrational, illogical, insane idea that, hey, this guy's going to come in here and win, and he'll probably win big and then just use us as a stepping stone and go somewhere else. That's the problem a school like Tulane wants to have year in, year out, until they get into some Power 5 conference, until this Willie Fritz, John Sumrall football thing is sustained for a while, where they're just a top 25 team year in, year out. It's Tulane Green Wave, synonymous with academics, synonymous with college football prowess. When that is established, then maybe you can start thinking about coaches that would stay long-term and that type of thing, or not have to worry about going to greener pastures, because Tulane is the green pasture, pun intended. So just that backwards thinking, that kind of losing thinking, don't want to bring in the winner. He's going to win really big and then leave us in a year or two. That is exactly what you want over and over and over again. Would you like somebody that's just loyal and turns down bigger opportunities and apparently, bigger stadium, bigger fan base, more money, more to win, a better chance at winning a national title, Power 5 conference, all of that. You want someone that's turning that down all the time? I mean, that would have to be a special person that has some tie to Tulane as a player or New Orleans or is up in age. And look at Willie Fritz at 63. Not old enough. It'd have to be a dude like 70 who's going to, the golden years, coach at Tulane and still be as effective as when he was 35, 40. So, no, I love that John Sumrall was the guy. No one talked anyone out of it by he could be gone in a year or two. That's what you want. I mean, it isn't what you want. You want John Sumrall coaching and winning and staying with Tulane for 20 years. It's just not, I want that too. I want a bag of money. I want first-class airline tickets to Europe. I want. What's realistic is, what you really want is folks coming after John Sumrall like crazy after next season. And then hopefully he's still around. And the season after that, it's even more intense. And you hope he's still around. And by season 3, at best, he's gone. And he's going to like Auburn or Texas A&M or some Power 5 school. And Tulane has to do this all over again because Sumrall took it up from where Willie Fritz had it to another level higher. Anyway, those aren't things that Tulane fans need to think about or worry about. That's the losing mentality. That's why, Rich Rodriguez didn't get the gig. Not this year. Tulane's got a new athletic director, David Harris. Tulane's got a new head football coach, John Sumrall, just like that. All within the last, Sumrall just introduced yesterday, Harris just a few weeks ago. Coming up in about 7 minutes, new Tulane Green Wave head football coach, John Sumrall, will join us. In an hour, Tulane athletic director, David Harris. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, only Tulane University has more worldwide patents, a major research institution, than Latrim. Latrim has the second most worldwide patents in the region. No, it's a culture of innovation over at Latrim, under the UEP Long Bridge, on River Road. They've got a job for you at Latrim. They've got a career for you at Latrim. The new year is just a few weeks away. Coronavirus crisis got a lot of folks, I've been a so-and-so for 20, 30 years. It's all I thought I would ever be. And they decide, you know what? I'm shifting gears. Life is too short. Anything can happen. Look at this coronavirus crisis. Time to reevaluate. Latrim's got a job for you, a career for you. Go to latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. East Bankers, West Bankers, Latrim's got you covered at their Elmwood facility. North Shore folks, Latrim's got you covered at their North Shore I-12 facility. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrim.com. Zelensky visiting D.C. today, trying to get support for Ukraine. Seems pretty simple with Republicans. You can do Ukraine, you can do Israel, you can do Taiwan, do the border. I think Joe Biden, Democrats need to tighten up what Republicans want for the border crisis, and then Taiwan, Israel, Gaza, Palestinians, and Ukraine will get the funding. Speaking of Israel and Hamas, Biden to Netanyahu and Israel, stop the indiscriminate bombing in Gaza, and there has to be a two-state solution at the end. I do think Israel is losing face around the world with the indiscriminate bombing. And if there's no two-state solution, then Israel's part of the problem. Palestinians, Israelis aren't leaving that area, just like black and white folks aren't leaving New Orleans. Figure it out or perish. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Hey, guys, it's pretty simple. Hanukkah going on right now. Christmas coming up. Holiday season. She wants real natural diamonds from Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. When she opens up that box and it's real natural diamonds from Friends and Company Fine Jewelers, you've hit a Grand Slam home run. Go see Ken Friend at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Get her real natural diamonds, 1 billion years old. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers has an entire room dedicated to real diamonds, natural diamond jewelry, everything in that room under $1,000. Real natural diamonds this holiday season. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you since 1940, New Orleans. 83 years, going on 84 years of excellence. They were around before World War II started for the United States. Walk-up locations with personal service. That's old school. Free pickup and delivery, East Bank, West Bank, home or office. That's today's preferred method of dry cleaning. And then Young's Express, their manless locker locations. That's the future of dry cleaning. Drop your dirty stuff off at a safe and secure Young's Express manless locker. 2 short days later, go right back to that locker and pick it all up. Perfectly dry cleaned, ready to go. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of Young's Express, the manless locker locations all over the metro area. To find out more, go online, youngsdrycleaning.com, youngsdrycleaning.com. New Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall is going to join us in a second. Coming up in an hour, Green Wave fans, new Tulane athletic director David Harris will join us on the program. So lots of Tulane action this holiday season. Yeah, happy holidays. I mentioned the Woodhouse guys. You know, it's a dilemma holiday season. What am I going to get her is the first question. Second one, is she going to like it? What am I going to get her? A day of relaxation at the city's premier day spa, the Woodhouse. 5 locations in the metro. 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore by Baton Rouge. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It's exactly what she wants. A day of relaxation at the city's premier day spa. You want to do it really right, guys? Get with a buddy where your wife, your girlfriend, and your buddy's wife or girlfriend, they're best friends. So those two go together. Both of you hitting a grand slam home run. And go to one of the 5 area Woodhouse locations. Get one of those little bags with the rope handles, that lobby foyer area, full of stuff you put in that bag for her. Like soap and lotion, moisturizer, bath salts, candles, things she'll love. WoodhouseSpas.com. You can take a virtual tour. You can book an appointment for her. You can print a gift card, any denomination. WoodhouseSpas.com. President Zelensky visiting D.C. today, visiting with Republicans, visiting with Democrats. I believe, like right now, visiting with Joe Biden, or just did, scheduled for this afternoon. Met with Mike Johnson, new Speaker of the House from North Louisiana. Now, it seems like it is a 4-pronged deal. Ukraine's one of the 4, but all 4 go if the border's taken care of. The border's 1, Israel, really Palestine, Gaza, Taiwan, Ukraine. It's multifaceted. No, the Republicans are like, got to take care of the U.S.-Mexican border, and then we can take care of Israel and Gaza, Taiwan and Ukraine. But got to take care of the Mexican border, and then you get everything else you want. Biden tells Netanyahu and Israel, stop the indiscriminate bombing in Gaza. And Netanyahu says, hey, after this, after Hamas is eradicated, we're going to control Gaza. We're going to control Gaza. And obviously, that's not a 2-state solution. That's not, that isn't a 2-state solution. Netanyahu doesn't believe in a 2-state solution. Hamas doesn't believe in a 2-state solution. Now, Hamas is a little different. Hamas is the extreme side of Palestinian politics, and they want to eradicate all Jews and kill everyone in Israel. Israelis like Netanyahu just simply want to eradicate Hamas, not all Palestinians, but Netanyahu does not believe in a two-state solution, and that I don't see how that works. I think that has to happen. The Tulane Green Wave got their guy. New Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall joins us live on the neutral ground. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing very well. Congratulations on the new gig. Glad to have you back in New Orleans. What was a decade ago you were here, right?
Yeah, it's been a decade. It's hard to believe it's been that long ago, but I was here. I showed up in December of 2011, and then was here till December of 14.
You know, I'm from New Orleans, Coach, but I always talk, to younger kids. And when I was younger, like, God, could you imagine not living here and coming to Tulane as a student and New Orleans? That would have to just be incredible. I would imagine the same thing as a coach. Uptown New Orleans, the university, the reputation, being in New Orleans, a lot of positives.
A lot of positives for sure. World-class academic institution, FBS Division I football, an opportunity to play the game at the highest level in college, and they get to do it in Uptown in the city of New Orleans, with such a vibrant culture and a city that loves sports, loves football, and has such great energy. A special place to be able to do what we get to do.
There's no blueprint, Coach, on how to have an opening press conference. You seem to crank yours right out the park. Everybody loved it. And you could start off with just, we're going to win in football. You started off with the family support, your wife, 4 kids, your parents, your in-laws, your brother Joe. It's obviously vitally important to have family support, at least in your case.
Yeah, family is so important to me. We talk a lot in our program about family, and I think some people may speak on it, but we actually live it. Our families are very involved in our team and our activities, and I tell people all the time, I go to football every day. My wife, she goes to work. We got 4 young kids, and she's made a ton of sacrifices so I could pursue my passion, which is coaching football. And I believe that family needs to be involved and is important and it matters. And we're very grateful. I'm grateful for my family. They are my support. And they help drive me to keep doing a lot of things I'm able to do.
I love the father-in-law line you said yesterday. Where are you taking my daughter?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well,
all over.
When you're getting ready to get engaged, I asked my father-in-law, hey, would you be all right if your daughter lived in Idaho or Montana? And he's like, why are you asking me these crazy questions? I'm like, well, in college football, you never know where you may end up having to go.
Especially when you're assistant climbing the ladder, you go where you got to go.
That's exactly right. When you're assistants, you have to make decisions to help your career grow. And especially when you're younger, as you start to have kids and more obligations and duties, and then the decisions become a lot less about what you want to do or maybe your career sometimes, and more about just what's the right thing to do for the people around you. But as a young guy, you got to be ready to do what's next and always be ready to do what's best for your professional development.
We're visiting with new Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall. How's that sound, Coach?
Sounds pretty good, man. It was something I thought years ago I would love to have happen, and then for it to be able to become a reality has been very, very special.
Is this an original quote, or you got it from someone else? Juiceless, you're useless.
Yeah, I don't think I can take credit for being the originator of that. I'm not sure exactly who said it first, but I'm sure I stole that somewhere along the way from somebody way smarter than me.
You said New Orleans has a lot of juice.
Yeah, it does. I think, there's always a party here. I used to kid around when I was here as an assistant coach. You need to keep a camping chair in your car because you never know when you're going to pull up on a festival or a party. And so that's one of the best things about this city and this region is there's always a good time to be had. And I think the energy that people have here in the city is exciting.
So you meant juice literally and figuratively.
Oh yeah, both. Yeah, yeah. Get maybe some bourbon or some booze and energy, man, for sure.
Hey, winners win. You said you're a winner. Tulane will win.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe people that know how to win find ways to win. You know, our first year at Troy, where I just came from, we inherited a team that had gone 5-7, 5-6, and 5-7 3 straight years. It was essentially the same roster. In year one, we went 12-2.
Wow.
Finished the year ranked 19th in the country in all of college football. Had an 11-game winning streak. Won our bowl game over UTSA. And it really had more to do with the change in mindset than really maybe the roster per se. Our guys, they just started to believe that no matter what happened, we were going to find a way to win. And I think that's an expectation and a standard that you create by how you do things daily.
There's enough from what you've seen on this Tulane roster where you can win right away?
Yeah, I think so. We got some work to do. You know, the biggest thing is roster management-wise right now is retention of players. You know, the transfer portal and our rosters, I feel like, been a little bit under attack. And so since I've taken the job, I've been hard at work trying to hold that together to some degree and help these guys understand the vision of the football program that's going to be in place, the value of finishing your degree here, and then the opportunity of seeing something through.
We're visiting with new Tulane Green Wave head football coach, John Sumrall. Coach, I'm going to knock out a quick break, come right back, talk a little bit more with the new Green Wave head football coach. Tulane fans, don't go anywhere. More with John Sumrall next.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Corey Johnson, back at you, New Orleans, every weekday afternoon. You're on the neutral ground. So is new Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall. Fill the stadium each week. I saw you at the press conference flail that arm over towards Yeoman. You're expecting to fill that stadium every week, Coach?
I don't see why not. You know, we need to give the fan base a reason to be excited about showing up and showing out by how we play the game. But I will say this too. I think players feed off the energy in the stands at times, and it's real. And when the stadium's hopping, usually guys got a little extra oomph about them.
Yep.
So I think we can. I think we should, and I think we will.
We're going to make the college football playoff, and we're going to win it. That's what you said yesterday.
Yeah, well, you know, I was talking about my vision, and so my vision for this program, and when I talk about vision, I wasn't declaring a date. I wasn't saying, hey, this is going to happen next season. I don't know all that. But what my vision for in taking this job was to win conference championships, to win bowl games, to graduate men of character, and then to make the college football playoff. And when you get there, why not try to win it and go win it? And so I think that's more real now than ever, that it's going to expand to 12 teams. And when you're speaking your vision, I think you're talking about what you want to come. And anybody that speaks a small vision, if you think small, you probably are small. And so I want to think big. I want our guys to think big. I want them to believe big. And if you don't believe it and you're afraid to say it, then good luck to you.
Yeah, I heard a guy yesterday say the only disability in life is a bad attitude.
Yeah, well, I'm a firm believer in that. You know, the man with the right mental attitude can achieve anything, and the man with the wrong one can't achieve anything. And so I think that you're in control of how you approach every day, and attitude is everything. Your body language matters, your demeanor matters, your drive matters, how you affect others around you positively matters. And so I'm huge on, man, something bad happens in our program, we're going to say good. You know, something good happens in our program, we're going to say good. We're going to have a good attitude no matter what.
Hey, Coach, sometimes things are just black and white. They're cut and dried rules. Right now, college football in some ways is in flux in certain ways. You said, and you don't have to do this, a lot of programs do the exact opposite. You said you won't touch Troy coaches till after the Troy Bowl game. It might hurt a little now, but it's better in the long haul. And you even said any Troy player that enters the portal, don't contact me. Not right now.
Yeah, well, I just think that's the right thing to do. You know, Troy gave me a tremendous opportunity. I was a first-time head coach. They hired me in December of 2021. And while in this profession, when you take another head coaching job as a city head coach,
yep,
really the parameters are you go and you start that job. But that doesn't mean I leave behind the guys or I bring the guys immediately that I had there, coaches wise. I think they still have a game to play. You know, we're 11-2 there. I'd like to see them finish 12-2 and win the bowl game and beat Duke.
Yep.
And so I want those guys to finish the bowl game with those young men and be there for them during this transition. And then after the game, there will be some guys from that staff that will probably see their way over here more than likely. And then when it comes to the players, sometimes players may look into the portal for different reasons. Some of them are academic. That's probably the least likely a lot of times, but some of them are academic. Sometimes it's playing time or opportunity on the field. And then sometimes some guys are looking to maybe get some NIL money or get something different financially than where they are. But for us here, I've got zero interest in encouraging any of the young men at Troy to go in the portal. That's not my plan, my prerogative, or my agenda. I'm not going that route. Now, if a young man from there decides to go in on his own accord, then I'll reach out if I think he's the right fit for Tulane. But that doesn't, it's a process, and that's, I think, the right way to go about it. And that's, there may be some things to doing it that way that in the short term don't help us be successful quite as fast as I want to be. But I think in the long term, it'll win out.
Coach, there seems to be sort of a catch-22 going on, not a perfect situation as you enter Tulane, a dilemma, a predicament, a precarious situation. Help me out on this, and Green Wave fans too want to know. I mean, you've got the old offensive coordinator and D coordinator from Willie Fritz's staff and some other assistant coaches still working at Tulane. They're going to coach the Green Wave in the bowl game. Yet on social media, I see some Tulane players entering the portal and even some mentioning existing Tulane coaches and crediting them with essentially recruiting them over to Houston. That just
anybody that's formally taken a job at another university is not going to be coaching the bowl game now. And so I've addressed that. For a little while here, when there was no head football coach in place, there were some things that occurred that were not ethical. Okay. And that's going to stop. And so, and for a while, there were some things that were occurring that you had the fox in the hen house. And right now, there will not be a guy that's leaving and already taken the job somewhere else that will continue to coach in the bowl game. That will not occur.
You're talking about the Tulane coaches that were on the offense coordinator, defensive coordinator are no longer on Tulane staff?
Well, I'm not going to name positions or names, but I will say Slade Nagel is still currently here, and he has not accepted a job anywhere at this time, to my knowledge. The guys that have accepted jobs that have not been here recently that are gone, whether it be to another university or wherever, they're not coaching the bowl game. If you're not here working, you're not coaching the bowl game. So you can't do it that way. It's not reality. And so anybody that has accepted a job at another university, not going to coach in this game, not going to be around this team anymore. They're gone.
So no coaches connected to Houston are involved with the Tulane football team any longer.
They will not be anymore. They were until I got here. Probably had a little too much access, but if they've accepted a job anywhere else, they're not going to be in our building or coaching these guys.
What was the part that was not ethical in your opinion? Poaching the players, trying to poach the players?
Yeah, I mean, you can do the math. It's not that complicated.
No, I have, Coach. I just wanted to hear it from you, basically, when you said not ethical. Yeah. And the fox in the hen house kind of comment. It's you've got to get it, John, Sumrall, Tulane, your staff, or at least people that potentially could be on your staff, and that's it, right? You can't have. It would be outsiders almost involved, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, and let me be very clear on this too. There are some guys that are still here that were from the previous staff that are doing this the right way. And some that don't even fully know if they're going to be retained yet, but are giving great effort towards what we're trying to do. They're serving these young men that are still here on this team that they coached last year really well. And they're giving them their undivided attention. And so there's a lot of guys here. So I don't want it to seem like everybody's not doing right. I think there's a lot of guys here that are. And there's several guys from the staff that are still here working hard to be here for these young men and give them everything that they need to have an opportunity to be successful and pour into their lives and help them grow.
Do you anticipate any of the existing staff being part of your staff? Do you want any of those coaches to be part of your staff, or still figuring that out?
Yeah, nothing's final. But I walk into every situation. I told the staff when I met with them on Sunday, when I first got here, I walked into a place at Troy that, like I said earlier, hadn't won more than 5 games in a year for 3 straight years. And I kept 4 full-time coaches off of that staff when I first got there. And next thing you know, we won 12 games the next year. And so it's about fit. It's about wanting to be a part of what's about to happen and do things the right way and buy into the expectations and standards that we'll set forth. It's not about are they my guy or not my guy, because once you put a staff together, we're all each other's teammate.
Yep.
And so for me, there is no last staff, this staff, that. It's, hey, the 2024 staff will look different than last year's. I think there is a real opportunity for some guys to be retained, working through that currently. But we've got several of those guys that were on last year's staff here working extremely hard, some of them in preparation for the bowl game, some of them recruiting, a little bit of both. And those guys are very strongly considered could they be a part of what's next year.
It's kind of ironical, Coach. One of the reasons I'm sure you took the Tulane gig, you remember the program a decade ago. Willie Fritz built it up and made it viable and maybe something attractive to you. And then ironically, and I'm saying this, it's Willie Fritz who kind of left on a sour note, at least going to Houston and trying to poach the players and having the coaches actively doing it while they're still at Tulane.
Yeah, Will and I have had a good relationship in the past, and I have zero issue with him. Actually, what he did here, I respect and admire, and think he did a great job during his time. And so we have spoken recently, and I'm grateful for what he was able to accomplish here and have a lot of respect for it. And I think he elevated the program and the brand, and a lot of the players here benefited greatly because of their leadership during his time here. And so a lot of respect for what he's able to do here. And yes, in many ways, I think did make this situation more attractive.
Hey, Coach, you stuck with me some extra time already. I'd love to take a quick break and come back to talk to you about your 4 core values, how the offense and defense will go, but only if you have time, and understand if you don't. You've already spent extra time with me. It's your call.
I would love to. I got to run, but I will get back with you here sometime in the near future for sure.
Fair enough. I kept you long enough already. John Sumrall, a pleasure, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Good visiting with you.
Good visiting with you. That's new Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall joining us. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Coming right back.
Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. If you missed the last 25, 30 minutes, you missed new Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall. And really ran out of time, could have kept going. He had his 4 core values he talked about yesterday: attitude, toughness, discipline, love, offense, explosive, run, then throw, defense, attacking and aggressive. I loved a lot of the quotes the guy said. If you're juiceless, you're useless. New Orleans has lots of juice. Winners win. I'm a winner. Tulane's going to win. And it wasn't like being cocky, just kind of telling it like it is. I'm like, you are a winner. I think Tulane will win. And that's what it was like. And then just the comments just today that were pretty big. Tulane coaches on the present team that are going to be coaching with Willie Fritz at Houston aren't on the team anymore, aren't part of the team anymore. That's at least what John Sumrall said. Said the roster's under attack, not ethical, fox in the hen house. So John Sumrall said any Tulane coach that's already committed to going to another program is no longer coaching at Tulane. And they're not going to coach the Green Wave in the bowl game. And that was a major dilemma. I'm glad that John Sumrall solved that in 24 hours. First day on the job, because that was a big dilemma, a predicament, a precarious situation. Old coaches still around, coaching the team in the bowl game, then going to Houston and poaching players, taking players with them. Can't have that. Can't have that. Houston's not going bowling. So those coaches don't have to be at Houston right now hustling. But the Tulane coaches coaching the Tulane Bowl team are recruiting for Willie Fritz in Houston right now as Tulane coaches, and then also luring over existing Tulane players. Man, you know how much money's in the NIL portal in Houston? We can get you some money. You know, it's that kind of thing. So John Sumrall said, not ethical. The fox in the henhouse. Those are really appropriate quotes. The fox in the henhouse. It was so true. The fox was in the henhouse. John Sumrall says the fox is no longer in the henhouse. Any Tulane assistant coach that's going to another program that's not sticking around or is committed to another program is gone already, not part of the team anymore. Now, the roster under attack. No, I'm so glad that's the case. When yesterday, I love the high ground that Sumrall's taking, and he's right. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you want to tell your kids when he's saying we won't touch Troy coaches till after the Troy Bowl game. It might hurt a little now, but it's better in the long haul. And a Troy player that enters the portal, we're not going to invite him over yet or offer him till after the bowl game. And then only after we go through a process with them. So I like that because a lot of other coaches don't do that at all, apparently. Including Willie Fritz. Willie Fritz left a lot of Tulane fans on a sour note, not leaving so much. The folks that are sour about that, you got to get over that. It's his choice. He did nothing wrong doing that. That's like a LSU fan not liking Nick Saban at Alabama. No one did anything wrong. Willie Fritz going to Houston trying to get Willie Fritz. No one did anything wrong. Keeping your coaches at Tulane to coach the bowl game while they recruit for Houston, that's doing something wrong. And that's something that John Sumrall's not going to do. He's not going to do that. Now, I don't, when I'm talking Tulane, I don't mean to keep bringing up LSU. It's just a local team that's an easy reference point. McMahon, the basketball coach, I forget where he even came from, but the school he came from, he brought over like 4 players from that school. It's like sort of what coaches do when they go to another program. They try to lure their star players from the old program to the new one. Sumrall said, not going to do that. Going to wait for the dust to settle. Might cost us, but in the long run, it's better. I don't know how you really argue with that. Because he apparently thinks it's not ethical. Not ethical. Hey, Green Wave fans, we're just getting started. It's a holiday season extravaganza, Wave fans. In about 23 minutes, new Tulane athletic director David Harris will join us on the program. He's just recently, he's been on the job a few more weeks than John Sumrall. Could you imagine you take the position as an athletic director at a major university, and within a few short days, a week or two into the job, you got to hire a new head football coach, and it's not because you fired the guy. It's because he took another gig. I'm pretty sure David Harris taking the job at Tulane knew that was a pretty good chance of happening. That was a pretty good chance of happening. Yeah, Green Wave fans, David Harris joining us in the 5 o'clock power hour. You got to love the John Sumrall hire at Tulane. You feel like he can take it even up another level, like sustaining Willie Fritz, what he's done. I'm not considering to say that's a certainty. John Sumrall may not work out, but that seems like a certainty, like sustaining what Fritz has done, which is tremendous. And it almost seems like Sumrall can take it up another level. I don't know how Tulane could have done any better. I don't know how you hire a coach with a better attitude than that. Just a lot of, if you're a Green Wave fan, it was kind of a bummer a week and a half ago when you lost your coach, and now all of a sudden the sun has come up and it's shining pretty damn brightly. Best quality, best price, best selection. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home. Over 60 Rouse's, over 60 years. They got the local stuff, the regional stuff, national, even international stuff. And I love the Rouse's brands, the Rouse's labeled items. Same high quality as what you expect at about half the price. That extra virgin olive oil, it's in my cabinet right now from Rouse's. Tastes like home, Rouse's Market. What's that, Blue Boy? John Sumrall was great. David Harris, Tulane's AD, is next. Thanks, buddy. Wave fans should stick around.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.
Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Susan Spicer joining us on the program.
Even when they presented me the award, the people that I look up to the most, Frank was there and Donald Link was there. It does cause you to reflect back and think about your whole career.
Maybe the Stella Brennan Award says that to you, like I've arrived.
It certainly is kind of the ultimate honor when it comes to cooking and hospitality in New Orleans and the world.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
Doesn't get much better than that, huh?
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save you colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated, Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Wow. Hey, everyone, I'm Gopher. What drink can I mix for you? Hey, Miss Peaches, you're too young for Love Boat, huh? Yeah, you don't remember Love Boat. I was a tot when Love Boat was on. It was pretty nauseating. I think Fantasy Island, Love Boat was at 8, and then I think Fantasy Island was at 9 p.m., if I'm not mistaken. Let it flow. Yeah, Lil Hervé, whatever his name is, the man with the golden gun in Fantasy Island, he pocketed some cash. Yeah, you, right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Happy holidays. Holiday season. It's gift giving time for her. I got 2 great suggestions, guys, because it's a dilemma. What am I going to get her? Is she going to like it? What are you going to get her? A day of relaxation at the city's premier day spa. The Woodhouse Day Spa, 5 area locations, 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore by the Mall of Louisiana. Take a virtual tour, book an appointment for her, print up your gift card, any denomination, including a full-blown day of relaxation from the website, woodhousespas.com. Better yet, go to one of the 5 locations, get the gift card there in person, and then have someone from their staff help you out in that lobby foyer area, picking out a bunch of goodies for the little goodie bag for her. Candles, bath salts, moisturizers, all kind of good stuff. She'll love it. It's what she wants, guys. A day of relaxation from the Woodhouse Day Spa. What do I get her? A day of relaxation from the Woodhouse Day Spa. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. Suggestion number 2, another Grand Slam home run. You're welcome. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, guys, on Maple Street. If you're getting her diamond jewelry this holiday season and you're getting her lab-created, man-made, 3-week-old diamonds, shame on you. Shame on you. I don't know. A lot of you folks can live with stuff like that. For the rest of your life, you'll be living that lie and accepting it and living with it because some of you are built that way, to carry that crap with you your whole life. Yeah, I saved a few bucks. She doesn't know the difference. They're man-made 3-week-old diamonds. She might go get them tested one day. And then what does that say about you when she finds out, my God, these aren't even real diamonds. He got me the 3-week-old lab-created man-made crap. That's how much he loves me? That's what he did? Guys, don't make that mistake. Most significant person in your life. She wants real natural diamonds. It's a lifetime purchase. Go see Ken Friend at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton, right near Tulane. Carrollton section of Uptown. Maple Street. Campus Connection, that Tulane Green Wave shop with all the, great Tulane garb, shirts, T-shirts, and all kind of stuff with Tulane stuff on it, like the Angry Wave and more. I got my taxi driver Tulane shirt from the Campus Connection. That's Broadway at Maple. Turn right there, about 5 blocks down on your right. I believe it's right past Adams and Hillary. Hillary Adams on Maple Street. On the right, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Real natural diamonds, guys. What she wants. Plus, Ken Friend at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers has an entire room dedicated to real diamond jewelry, diamond stud earrings, diamond tennis bracelets, diamond necklaces, even real diamond engagement rings. Everything in that particular room under $1,000. You can come out of Friend and Company Fine Jewelers with real natural diamonds for a few $100. Couple of good suggestion, guys. What do I get her? Diamonds from Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. Gift giving dilemma problem solved. Hey, Green Wave fans, if you missed the last hour, you missed a lot. A good 25 minutes with new Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall. I liked his comments about roster under attack and, some not ethical behavior going on with some other people. The fox in the hen house. I asked him, Coach, you got a dilemma, predicament, a precarious situation. Old coaches from Willie Fritz's staff still around coaching the team in the bowl game. Then they're going to go to Houston and they're going to poach some players. John Sumrall nipped that one at the bud. He said just a few minutes ago, Green Wave fans, no Tulane coaches coaching the team right now are going to be going to another program. Or let me change that thought. Coaches on the Tulane Green Wave staff right now that are going to another program, that have accepted positions at another program, like Tulane's offensive and defensive coordinators reportedly, going to Houston, but coaching the Green Wave team, John Sumrall says, any coach that's already committed to any program, and that would be Houston too, they're not coaching at Tulane anymore, and they're not going to coach Tulane in the bowl game. The fox in the hen house is how he described what I was talking. How appropriate. No, he saw the problem, and he nipped it in the bud. There was almost definitely bleeding, borderline hemorrhaging. You have these coaches that are going to go coach with Willie Fritz at Houston. Houston doesn't have a bowl game. They're going to stick around and coach Tulane in the bowl game. So there's some continuity. Do it for the players. And they're, coaching the players and then come on over to Houston. Here's an NIL deal you could get. I can get you this money. Let's go kick butt in the bowl game. And then you and I both go to Houston together. Are you kidding me? So John Sumrall 86th that situation. Like to hear that. Hey, Green Wave fans, new Tulane athletic director, David Harris, is going to join us in about 8 minutes on the program during the 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, happy holidays. The holiday season continues. Lebanon's Cafe is there for you. They open up daily at 11 in the morning, and they roll till 9:30 at night. And they're open throughout the day. You can go right now and dine at Lebanon's Cafe. Outdoor dining, indoor dining, to-go orders. Some of the city's finest Middle Eastern food can be found at Lebanon's Cafe by the streetcar barn, where Carrollton Avenue is one lane in between Claiborne's and the River Bend. Not far from Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Not far from Tulane. Lebanon's Cafe. Go check them out. 7 days a week, 11 to 9:30. That means right now, Lebanon's Cafe. Yummy. I had a to-go order from there yesterday. I'm at Lebanon's 6 times a month, literally. More than once a week, for sure. Maybe a little less than twice a week, but sometimes I might go 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks straight where I've gone twice a week. No, I love it. Big portions, priced right, healthy, fresh, authentic. What's not to love? Lebanon's Cafe. Zelensky visiting D.C., visiting with Republicans, Democrats, the president. The Republicans they're like, we don't have any problem funding the Ukraine war. The border needs to be taken care of. If President Biden satisfies Republicans with the Mexican-U.S. border crisis, then Republicans will be on board not only funding Ukraine, but Israel, Palestinians in Gaza, Taiwan. I think all of that's necessary. The border, Israel, Palestinians in Gaza, Taiwan, Ukraine. All of it's of vital importance. Biden tells Netanyahu and Israel, stop the indiscriminate bombing in Gaza and a two-state solution after Hamas is defeated. Netanyahu continues the indiscriminate bombing in Gaza, and Netanyahu has always has been against a two-state solution. Check out the Netanyahu video from 30 years ago at rallies where they're chanting, kill Rabin, the Israeli prime minister, kill Rabin. And Netanyahu is just smiling and sort of egging it on at the rally. Some would, in the Jewish community or outside of it, would consider Netanyahu like the Nation of Islam to Malcolm X with Rabin. Like, you think friend and ally, it's Israel, it's Netanyahu, they're all Jews. There are a lot of Jews were the ones that assassinated Rabin and crushed the Oslo Accords and a possible two-state solution. They didn't want it. So that's a problem. You got to have a two-state solution. No one's going anywhere, Jews or Palestinians. And yeah, you can't keep up the indiscriminate bombing in Gaza. Got to be a little more precise. Isn't that what Israel's all about? Precision with their military? Corey Johnson with you. David Harris next.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? He said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Blue Plate Mayonnaise has been with you for 95 years, since 1927, a New Orleans family tradition. If you're a New Orleanian, native or official New Orleanian, been here a while, it's got to be Blue Plate, New Orleans mayonnaise. Happy holidays. Hey, Green Wave fans, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall. That's new Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall. Now we're hooking up with new Tulane athletic director David Harris joining us on the neutral ground. How you doing, David?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Boy, I don't know the future, neither do you. No one does. But boy, John Sumrall seems like the right choice, huh?
We certainly believe so. If you listen to those who have worked with him, interacted with him, gotten to know him, if you look at the success that he's had, or if you've just had the privilege of sitting in the room and having a conversation with him, all of the feedback has been very positive. We're very excited to be able to have him leading our football program. We got the guy that we wanted, and we're excited to get started.
David, what was the thinking behind that? Like, kind of, let's get a mid-major head coach that's done it before, instead of let's go get a Georgia or Alabama assistant.
So we felt, based on the success that's been had at Tulane here recently,
yep,
we wanted to give ourselves an opportunity to be able to build on that. And while you never know exactly who's going to have success and who's not, having an opportunity to be able to hire someone who's been a sitting, successful head coach was the optimal situation from our point of view. And it's not to say that a coordinator from another school couldn't come in and have success, but we feel like the program has been elevated to a point that we want to be able to keep it moving forward and continue to be strong and continue to build a national brand from a college football standpoint. And so having someone who's maybe cut their teeth at another location, has made some mistakes that they've learned from in other jobs, and has come in or is ready to come in with the experience necessary to be able to elevate the program as a head coach, as a sitting head coach, or as someone who has had head coaching experience, was really the desire.
Corey Johnson with you. You're on the neutral ground. We're visiting with new Tulane athletic director David Harris. David, everything's pretty much out there. I would imagine as you were interviewing for this job, one of the highlights of it was, hey, David, if we give you this gig or if you accept this job, right away, your first thing, you got to hit the ground running. You need to retain Willie Fritz. And David, if that doesn't happen, you got to go find a new head football coach. I mean, that's really, you're not becoming AD and everything's set up already, or you got time to settle in. You really had to get going right away, didn't you?
Well, certainly there was no time for a honeymoon.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
You have, you take the position, and you certainly take the position knowing the dynamic that you just described. You have a successful head coach that you want to be able to retain. And if you're not able to retain that coach, then you're going out and doing the search. And that's just the reality of being in this position, being an athletics director, taking a position at the time frame that the position was available. So you certainly know that that's the dynamic that's going on. And so you're prepared for it, and you're prepared to be able to move quickly. You're trying to move quickly, doing everything you can from a retention standpoint. And then if and when that doesn't work out, you know that you don't want to be in a position where there's a vacancy at that critical position in your department at that critical time for any longer than it absolutely has to be there. And so you're making calls, having conversations, and putting things in place to be able to move as fast as you can.
Hey, looking from outside the bubble with no knowledge of you or Tulane or anything, just college sports sort of knowledge, it's an obvious step up for you. What attracted you personally to Tulane? I'm sure there are other opportunities where you could step up to a bigger job. What made Tulane the job? What made you want to have that Tulane athletic director's job?
Certainly. So several reasons. I came into athletics, 25 years ago, working in academic support and life skills. So it's always been important to me that the young men and women that participate in college athletics understand that so much of what they're going to get out of college occurs off of the various fields of competition. That is where you're really making your investment, and that's the investment that's going to last a lifetime. And so for me, being at a place that has such a strong academic reputation and being able to earn a degree that is truly meaningful and can open doors for you in your life and your career has always been something that's been important. And I know that may sound strange for a guy who's an athletics director thinking about the academic side of the house. But the academic side of the house and being able to go through that successfully is why I have a chance to be an athletics director. And so coming to a place like Tulane that just does a great job academically was extremely important. And then from a competitive standpoint, not only the success of the football program, but just looking across the department at all the different areas that it has success on the conference, on the national level. As an athletics director, you want to come into a place where there's success across the board. And Tulane represented that. And then there was a significant family connection, as I talked about during my press conference. Both of my parents grew up in New Orleans and got married and had my two older sisters when they lived in New Orleans. And then we moved to Baton Rouge, where me and my younger brother were born. So we have family connections throughout the New Orleans area and the Baton Rouge area. So it really is a homecoming for me in Southeast Louisiana. Being able to come back and live and be within easy driving distance to go to Baton Rouge and go and see my dad and go and see other family members. So really a strong personal pull and personal connection. And then finally, I would say just really excited about the investments that are being made to not only keep Tulane athletics where it is now, but to build upon that. And so when I had conversations with the president and with Patrick Norton and other people that are involved in the search, they were talking about, hey, we've done a great job of getting ourselves to this point, but there are a lot of things that need to be done. We need to invest in this area and this area. These plans have already begun, and we have this in place, and we're looking forward to doing more in this area. It really struck me that there was a commitment and a motivation to be the very best that we can be, and we were putting our money where our mouth is. And so that was exciting to me as well.
New Tulane athletic director David Harris is visiting with us. Hey, with that said, with that in mind, were you hired, David, with the ultimate goal of getting Tulane into a Power 5 conference?
No, I suppose you can ask President Fitz what was in his mind at the time, but my understanding is I was hired to be able to provide the best possible leadership and vision to Tulane athletics as I possibly can. And if that results in that type of move at some point in time, then that's a conversation that we'll have and figure out what's in the best interest of Tulane University and Tulane athletics. But certainly there was no direction that, the person coming into this position job wanted to get us into a Power 5 or Power 4 conference. There was never any type of conversation like that. The way that I view it, and I think the way that we view it, is it's our job to make sure that if conversations like that are going to occur, that Tulane is a part of them and that we are ready for any opportunity that comes up. Whether that's the right opportunity or the one that we want to take, like I said, that is subject to conversation at the appropriate time. But our job is to make sure we do everything we can to be ready and to be attractive as an option for a conference if they want to investigate and look at us more closely.
Well, it seems like that kind of needs to be your goal, or at least if excellence is your goal, the way excellence will look, it is compatible with a Power 5 team or program, right?
Well, I listened to Coach Sumrall yesterday, and he talked about, hey, we're gonna get into the college football playoff based on the new format.
Yep.
And it's our plan to win it once we get in. And I didn't hear him say we're going to get into a Power 5 conference, and then we're going to get into the college football playoff, and then we're going to win it. In other words, we believe that excellence can be achieved at any level, and certainly at the level that we're at now, as well as if we decide to go to a different level.
Yeah, that 12-team expansion, if that would have happened this year instead of next, Tulane might have been the 12th team this year if they would have beaten SMU in the conference championship game. So you can kind of slip in. You don't have to be a Power 5 with the expanded playoffs, right?
Right. Certainly. I mean, many people look at being in the situation that we're in now, and with there being access that's going to be provided to, a group of 5 team coming in, depending on how you finish and depending on your ranking. Some would say that there is an equal, if not better, opportunity to be able to get into the playoffs from where we sit right now. But you know what? The thing that we can control is the way that we prepare, the way that we play, the way that we win, and whether we're in our current conference, which we're incredibly happy with right now, or make a move at some point, then those are discussions for a different time and place.
We're visiting with new Tulane Athletic Director, David Harris. David, I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back and talk a little bit more, maybe about some of the sports teams and some of those things that you were talking about, like the fundraising going on, facilities. Don't move, Green Wave fans.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Cotton Bowl winning coach Willie Fritz joining us on the program. Have you ever been part of a game that great?
A lot of things happen in the game. You just don't know the script. You got to adapt and improvise. You just got to keep playing hard the whole time, and our guys did an excellent job of that.
How big is yesterday for the overall future of the program?
You got to have the guy to really have a burning desire to get quality education and also be a great football player. You got to have focus.
You've always have embraced New Orleans. You've been a great ambassador for the city, for Tulane University.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. My wife and I just love it here in New Orleans. And just everybody, the city's just sensational. We just a dime for a person who came up to me after game. I had tickets in Tulane Stadium. I've heard that a ton of times. And then, that's good that we're able to make some people happy.
That's Willie Fritz joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Roll A.
The spirit of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on The Neutral Ground.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
New Tulane Athletic Director David Harris is with us on the neutral ground. Corey Johnson with you till 6 o'clock. Hey, David, I had your new head football coach on last hour, and I talked about a dilemma, predicament, kind of a precarious situation. Old Tulane coaches, Willie Fritz assistants, still around coaching the team. They'll coach them in the bowl game. Then they're going to go join Willie Fritz in Houston, and some of them appear to be poaching players. We see this on social media. John Sumrall said any coaches that are committed to going somewhere else are no longer with the Tulane football program. He mentioned Fox in the hen house. I thought that was pretty appropriate.
Yes, it's a different world in college athletics now than it was just a few years ago when transitions like this take place and there wasn't the concern that there is about exactly what we're talking about. And certainly through my social media, I would say over the past 48 to 72 hours, people have literally been yelling at me through Twitter about the coaches and what their intentions are and all the things that you're describing. So I guess I would comment on this in 2 different ways. Coach Sumrall probably mentioned that when it comes to the staff that he is leaving in Troy, he has told them that, hey, you need to stay and coach the bowl game. And I don't know if I'm bringing you with me or not, but I know that those decisions won't be made until after the bowl game. So keep your eye and your focus on those student athletes because they need you to more than ever now to be able to move forward. So in that regard, seeing coaches that are going to be staying with the program to help coach our student athletes through the bowl game is consistent with what his beliefs are and the integrity that he feels is necessary in this situation. What's not consistent with that is then using that time to do what can amount to illegal tampering. And in this regard, we're not in a position to make any claims in that regard because we don't know in great detail what's happening and what's not happening. But I would say that for student athletes that are in the transfer portal, if they're looking for other opportunities, and I know Coach has said he wants to have a conversation with them because we want to retain them.
Yep.
Absolutely. And we want to make them a part of the program. But for those who are not in the portal, if we have any coach or anyone who is encouraging them to make that move so that they can go to any university, I don't care if it's Houston or anywhere else, then that's not an acceptable thing for me. So we certainly support Coach Sumrall in his desire to make sure that the coaches who are around our young men at this critical juncture of our program have the best interests of the young men and the Tulane football program in mind.
He said not ethical. You just said potentially at least illegal tampering. You obviously don't have all the details yet, but are you guys investigating it, situations that could be going down right now?
I think what's happening is that Coach is having meetings with the student athletes and taking his cue from the information. So are we having, wide-scale investigation and look into this? No. The way that that's being handled is that Coach is having conversations with the coaches. He's having conversations with the student athletes, and we're taking our lead from him as far as what he feels is necessary to be able to help prepare the team to win a bowl game and also to protect the long-term future of the program.
Yeah, it's really a gray area right now. It's not black and white or cut and dried. I like what Sumrall said. I'm not going to mess with any Troy coaches till after the bowl game. Troy player goes into the transfer portal. Don't call me right now till after the bowl game. That type of stuff. That shows what he's talking about. He said it might set things back a little right now initially, but in the long run, it's the right way to go. Other coaches just go on the attack, don't they, David? I mean, it's like NIL money. We offer you this much. Come play over here. It's hard for young kids to not be tempted by that.
And the integrity that John is showing by what he said, it certainly caught our attention because we both believe in doing things the right way. And I think he's showing that even though, as you said, maybe there's going to be a short-term setback, and I'm not saying that I even believe that that's going to occur. But even if there is, we support doing things the right way and building the character of our program in the right way and for the long-term success in the best interests of Tulane football. But yes, you have all types of different coaches with different agendas. That's really been created by this opportunity to be able to transfer one time and play right away. And so in a largely competitive environment, you're going to have that. You're going to have some of that. You're going to have people that are really trying to rebuild a team or build a team on the fly and doing it in a way that they feel is in their best interest. And so from my standpoint, I appreciate the work that all of our current coaches, former coaches have done with Tulane football. It is our expectation that they're going to handle things the right way. I want to thank them for the work that they've done, and I want to thank them for the work that they're doing under challenging circumstances, because when you have a transition like this, there's just a lot of things that you can't predict, and you're working with recruits and parents and all of that stuff. So there are many of them that are doing this exactly the right way, and we certainly want to support and encourage them. And for those who have interests that are different than the best interests of Tulane, then we'll make sure we deal with that in the appropriate manner.
And as an athletic director, how can you write a check to some assistant coach that's going to Houston in a few weeks and taking players with him? That would be a hard check for me to write.
Well, you know what? We're going to do what we're supposed to do. We're going to do what we're obligated to do, what we're legally contracted to do.
Yep.
We're going to handle things the right way, and that's going to be a consistent approach for us.
Yep. I like the coach saying any coaches that are going somewhere else and it's known they're not coaching this team in the bowl game. That was a good call. Got to nip that in the bud because it is just a different time in college football. Hey, the collective NIL money. What's your view of what Tulane's done? I'm kind of impressed, to be honest with you. These big major public universities, the powerhouse schools, it's kind of easy. I mean, A&M getting an NIL thing together. Come on, you got billionaires that are boosters and supporters everywhere you look. Tulane, as you mentioned, David, it's an academic school first. Like schools are supposed to be everywhere, by the way. I'm sort of impressed by the collective, the NIL that Tulane's put together on very short notice. It's very kind of organic and kind of from the roots. It's not really like corporate.
Well, as I said about the coaching situation, that's another area where we want to make sure we're handling things the right way. But that is an environment that hasn't been heavily regulated, and the rules can be different from campus to campus, state to state.
No, the feds need to regulate it.
Yeah, that's another thing that can make it confusing. But certainly, to our understanding of the rules, we're going to handle NIL situations with applying the rules as they are supposed to be applied. But we have people who are involved with the NIL program, and I've had a chance to meet many of them that are working their tails off to make sure that they have opportunities to provide to our student athletes. Now that NIL is open to our student athletes, and I'm a big supporter of student athletes having the ability to be able to make money off their name, image, and likeness.
Yep.
Now that is a door that has been opened up to them, we want to make sure that we can do everything we can to educate them support them and protect them as they look at those opportunities. And so we have to do our part on the education side to make sure that they are taken care of, and then help to make sure that those in the community who are interested in NIL and being a part of the collective and organizing the collective or organizing separate NIL activities, that they have great opportunities to be able to reward our student athletes for the hard work that they've been putting in. So I'm also impressed at what Tulane has been able to do to make sure that those opportunities present themselves to student athletes. We believe at Tulane that while NIL is a part of the package, it's only a part of the package. It shouldn't be the reason that someone decides to go to an institution or leave an institution. We're looking at this from a standpoint of the quality of the education, the quality of the people that you're around, that you're learning from, the quality of your athletics experience, the people on the campus who are investing in you and caring about you, the equipment, the travel, the logistics of everything that you do, of which NIL is a part of it. And so one of the challenges with NIL is that I feel we have young people who are making decisions to change institutions based strictly on NIL money. And while that may settle well with them in the short term, in the long term, it may not be their best interest. And so for us, that's where we really feel like we have an advantage, because not only are we providing NIL opportunities, but we're providing a Tulane education, which is invaluable. And so it's hard to duplicate the long-term impact that can have on your life and on your career. So Tulane athletics has a lot to sell, and NIL is just one piece of that, but it's becoming a more important piece every day.
New Tulane athletic director David Harris is with us for a couple of more minutes. Hey, David, I'm not looking for you to disparage Willie Fritz, but he kind of said something in Houston to reporters that I don't know how else you can interpret it. It was before your time at Tulane, but basically talked about other places dragging their feet on facilities. And this bubble has been talked about for a year or so on that little 80-yard strip in front of the Riley Center, a climate-controlled indoor bubble that the field would be for student athletes mostly, but inclement weather, the football team needs to use it, it would be their bubble at that time period. Fritz sort of implied like the dragging of the feet on that, this Wilson Center expansion, dragging feet on that. Houston's got a $20 million indoor facility. They're building a $140 million football operations center. You guys are going to build, I don't know, I guess about a $3 to $5 million bubble, about a $50 million operations center, essentially, by the Wilson Center expansion. Was that a concern taking the job, that Tulane in the past was dragging their feet under the old AD, the old administration? Did the old AD leave because Tulane drags their feet? Fritz seemed to insinuate part of the reason he left is because Tulane dragged their feet on the facilities. Your thoughts on that?
I can only speak from my own perspective and experience, and I would say I have seen and felt just the opposite, in that from the time that I've gotten involved with the process to the time that I had the honor of being named the athletics director to the past couple of weeks when, everything has been happening, everything is aimed at and pointed toward full speed ahead in everything that we're looking to do. So whether it's the bubble or the sports performance facility or the renovations to the Wilson Center, those things are all coming up here very quickly. And so we're doing everything we can to make sure that those things happen as fast as we possibly can, much of which will be either happening in its entirety or starting here as we roll into 2024. And so certainly Coach Fritz has his own opinion and perspective from his experience at Tulane.
Yep.
And he's free to share that, however and whenever he wants to do that. But from my point of view, that certainly was not a concern coming into the position. As I said, quite the opposite. I was impressed at how aggressive we were looking to be, and how aggressive our timelines were, and just the overall scope of everything that's included in the campaign. It honestly made me excited. It made me fired up. I'm thinking, okay, this is a place, as I've told many people, is not just sitting on its laurels because, you went to the Cotton Bowl last year and beat a very good USC team with the Heisman Trophy winner. It's about how are we in that position every year? How do we get into a situation where we're in the college football playoff? How are we in a place where people see Tulane football and Tulane athletics as being comprehensively excellent on a consistent basis? Year in and year out, you can count on Tulane showing up, playing hard, having success, winning championships, building facilities, doing all the things that you need to do, retaining coaches, investing in NIL, doing all the things that you need to do to have a successful program, that we become one of the models of doing it the right way in college athletics, academics, athletics, student-athlete experience, facilities, and everything that goes along with it. I think we have that opportunity, and it's part of my job and responsibility to make sure we're doing it in a fashion that takes everything into consideration, and we have great plans, and we have the funding in place and all of those things, but that we're moving through the process as quickly as we can.
Is it safe to say, can I say, within 6 months, the bubble ground will be broken, and within a year, Wilson Center ground will be broken? Is that safe to say?
You know what? I would say that I don't have the exact timelines in front of me, so I would say it's safe to say that those things and others will happen as soon as we can possibly make them happen.
Athletic Village over there on Jefferson Highway, off campus, is that a possibility too, David?
You know what? I haven't had some of those conversations, so I'm going to refrain from commenting.
Yeah, no,
I know
gotcha.
Everything that I need to know. Just know that there's a lot on the docket. We're getting good support and great feedback from donors and others that are interested in helping us. And so I believe we're going to have a lot of things to talk about, a lot of great things to talk about as we move forward here together.
Did I miss anything? Any final thoughts, David, till we visit down the road?
Just that I'm incredibly excited to have this opportunity to be in this position, to be entrusted with being the athletics director at Tulane University, and I can't wait to get started officially. I know that I've already started in many ways going through the football coaching search.
Yep.
And I'll also be out at the bowl game, and I look forward to watching our guys play. But then as January, we turn the calendar into a new year. I'm absolutely fired up about getting started. I've already met a ton of people. A ton of people are reaching out to me. It's a great time to be a part of the Greenway family. We have a lot of things going for us, both academically and athletically. And I can't imagine a better place to be than Tulane University.
David, I really appreciate the time this afternoon. Congratulations on the new job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and have a great rest of the afternoon.
That's new Tulane Athletic Director David Harris joining us on the program. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Great place to check out Tulane's bowl game, LSU bowl game, college football bowl games. How about the Saints in the NFL, Pelicans in the NBA? You name it, Premier League soccer. You know what's great about Katie's? It's like a sports bar with all those flat screen TVs, but it's nothing like a sports bar when it comes to the food. A taste of New Orleans, big portions, great for sharing. New Orleans specialties, food you actually want to eat, not sports bar food you're looking for something edible. It's Katie's, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant that happens to have a lot of flat screen TVs with all your favorite sports action. More is better, more of the good things. Why aren't you at Katie's in Mid-City right now?
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
As New Orleans as a roast beef po' boy.
Crab meat po' boy, duck po' boy.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground in Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Po' boy, roast beef po' boy, alligator po' boy.
Yummy. That was very well done. Harry Shearer had to have contributed to that montage on The Simpsons. And honestly, I think it's beyond Harry Shearer. No offense to Harry, but I think he had to get a few locals to assist on that. I think it was a handful of people sitting around Harry's place like in the quarter and him taking notes. Have you seen that montage, Miss Peaches? I mean, they nail it. It's really accurate. The signage, the places, pretty much everything he mentions is 90% of that montage is right on the money. Very few, kind of farcical type things. Anyway, that was a good one. The Simpsons tour of New Orleans.
People actually do that tour.
What's that, Miss Peaches? No, your mic's like way over. Follow the wire.
1, 2.
Follow the wire from the mic, Miss Peaches, to the board. Go down from there. You're not following the wire, Miss Peaches. Well, follow the wire. Where's the mic connected? Little short cable.
1, 2, 1, 2.
There it is.
Oh, is this one?
Isn't that how that works? Tease them.
On.
Come on, Miss Peaches. You're a producer. You're an engineer.
Test.
How am I explaining this to you on the other side of the glass?
Oh, you see.
Go light up a Misty.
Well, I was going to tell you, people actually do that tour when they come to New Orleans. They'll follow
the Simpsons gimmick. Wow, nice.
Yeah, no,
I think it's a pretty good tour. I think you could do a lot worse than doing that. That's interesting. That's funny.
That sounds fun.
Hey, speaking of New Orleans, real New Orleans, Leidenheimer Baking Company. They've only been baking that Leidenheimer French bread in the city of New Orleans, still doing it today. They've only been doing it since 1896, over 125 years. The French bread of New Orleans, the official po' boy French bread of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread, Leidenheimer Baking Company. What's that, Blue Boy? Thank Tulane Green Wave head football coach John Sumrall and athletic director David Harris for joining us. Miss Peaches for running the controls. And for you watching and listening, see you tomorrow, 4 p.m.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.